Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. AEW's Grand Slam 2022 is in the books. At least the Dynamite portion is. Of course, Rampage still has another 2 hours, 8 matches coming up on
that right now.
And they're taping it as we speak. That's right, yeah. We have a new AEW World Champion, and the three-time World Champion in Jon Moxley. He beat Bryan Danielson clean. No MJF cash-in. He was sitting up there on a perch. What do you think of Mox being a three-time champion, Ellers?
I mean, he's Mr. Dependable in AEW, and when in doubt, break glass, put title on Mox.
Absolutely.
That has been their philosophy, and especially this year in 2022, he's delivered.
Yeah.
He puts on spectacular matches. He's doing interesting character work. The crowd loves him.
That's important.
It's the absolute safest pick, but saying it's a safe pick could be seen as kind of like throwing shade. I'm not trying to throw shade at Mox at all, but he's wrestler of the year. He's wrestler of the year in my estimation.
It's a really smart business move.
It is a smart business move. He's dependable. He's durable. He seemingly wants to wrestle every week. He makes the title feel important. Not to say Bryan Danielson couldn't do those things. I love Bryan Danielson. He can make the title feel important. You put that belt on Mox. It's a smart move. They already laid the groundwork telling the story of Mox and MJF. I was kind of wondering if they were going to have if they have MJF somehow win the title here and then go to Mox, MJF, with MJF walking into Full Gear as champ to have the one-on-one bout so then Mox can get his vacation time. Seemingly that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Until after Full Gear, because I would not be surprised if MJF decides to cash in then, but maybe he'll wait. I don't know.
Given what we saw tonight, I have no idea what they're going to do. Clearly. Because I thought it was going to be MJF cashing in, because they've talked a lot in the lead up in sort of media, the interviews they've done, both MJF and Ariel Helwani, and then Tony Khan also. I know he's been doing the interview circuit as well.
Yeah, he did the media rounds today and spoke extensively and said, if MJF decides he wants the match and it's a sanctioned event, that he will sanction that match.
Right.
And it didn't make it sound like it was as spontaneous as a Money in the Bank cash in, but
it could be read that way. It could be read that way.
It could be read if MJF walks up to go position backstage and says to Tony Khan, I want this match now, then Tony Khan would make the match now.
I mean, that's basically Money in the Bank. They can call it what they want. And honestly, it'd be smart. Money in the Bank's the smartest, the most clever convention that WWE has come up with in the past 20 years. It really is. It makes for the unpredictability. It's made Money in the Bank into basically the fifth biggest pay-per-view, maybe in some eyes the fourth biggest pay-per-view of the year. So yeah, it's an exciting convention that I think AEW honestly just needs to embrace. Everybody else has. You got Impact doing the X Division Option C thing. You got the Gift of the Gods when Lucha Underground was around. People should have the Money in the Bank option.
Impact has that trophy too, that if you win it, because that's how Moose beat Josh Alexander for the title right after he won it.
Yeah.
Trophy
they did that too. Yeah. So it'd be a smart move. They didn't do it tonight. I expect that's how they're going to do it, unless he just decides, hey. But what we saw tonight, it seems like he might be a bit more calculated. They might have set something up with him and Wheeler Yuta, another member of the Blackpool Combat Club, tonight as well. So maybe that's a short-term thing. Maybe he'll go through Danielson. Maybe he'll go through some others before he gets to Mox, and maybe it won't be at the next pay-per-view. If there's one thing I think Tony Khan needs to learn with Mox is having a killer 2022.
Yes.
Make this mean something, because now that he lost to Punk, it's sort of, and he can go, he'll go on another terrific win streak. But yeah, Mox there's two things you mentioned, dude, and they're the two things that matter. He's reliable and the crowd loves him. And that's kind of all that matters. It's icing on the cake that he's doing really, really good work, which is why the crowd loves him. But yeah, no, he's doing terrific work. makes all the sense in the world for Mox to come away with this title. I think Danielson would have made a lot of sense as well. But if you're going to look to hit the reset button in a way here, Mox is the perfect option. Besides the big Chicago pop, I'm not sure it was a great move to put that title right back on Punk anyways.
No, especially not with the story they tried to tell that night.
Yeah. Well, there's that, but also just from a business standpoint, the injuries. That's just not. It's like, dude, he's like a million years old, and that probably wasn't a good idea. And now it's a moot point because he's probably never coming back. But if he does, he's not going to be in the title scene.
No.
But yeah, no. So Mox is once again our AEW champion. He is Wrestler of the Year. It's his to lose at this point.
Oh yeah.
And so it's fitting that title is back on him. Also, shockingly, we have a new Ring of Honor champion, Larson.
Yeah, that was perhaps the most surprising outcome of the night. We thought Claudio versus Chris Jericho would be a win. Maybe an overbooked win, but a win nonetheless for Claudio. No. A low blow, a Judas effect later. Chris Jericho is now the Ring of Honor champion. I guess they want to keep that title in the general wrestling conversation. Having it trade hands a bit would probably do that, especially if it's kind of a surprising outcome, and especially if Chris Jericho is one of the people holding it.
So it's a really good story beat because of what we saw afterwards, where Daniel Garcia looked like his heart had been ripped out in having to congratulate Chris Jericho. It's a brilliant story beat because now the thing, and it's centered around Garcia because Garcia is the pure champion. He's the Ring of Honor pure champion.
And he was the only champion in the JAS too.
Yeah. And now the guy whose philosophy he basically is seething over and cannot stand is the top guy in that company, in the sub company, in Ring of Honor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And Jericho won with Sports Entertainment.
I love that they're centering that story around Garcia. Do I love that they're sacrificing the perfect Ring of Honor champion to do it? Maybe not, but it's a hell of a story beat.
I mean, if the idea is to have Jericho hold that title till they get TV and have Garcia beat him for it.
Oh, hell of a run. I mean, that's a hell of a thing right there.
That's a good story right there. So.
It's a great story. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, seemingly Tony Khan has a story in mind for this, these two titles.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And with long-term implications. So that's what we've been asking for AEW.
That's what we've been asking for. We've been asking for stories. And what have I said? Jericho's one of the few guys they have that is a storyteller. This guy can tell some good stories. He always, even if it's a feud that he knows is going to last like a month or so, Jericho will try to find the story element in it because he knows that's what people respond to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People need an emotional connection to the match. We had a debut tonight. Tony Khan was promising some surprises. We saw the debut of Saraya Paige when she was in WWE. I know Fightful Select had a thing earlier in the day saying that there were some conversations had in the summer between AEW and Saraya. Was not expecting her to make her debut tonight, but it's awesome that she did. The enthusiasm is tempered somewhat, however, based on how Tony Khan books the women's division. We've seen numerous high-profile women debut in AEW and generate a lot of excitement. And they're on TV for a bit, and then they're just not. You like to hope bringing her in that maybe, okay, something will change. But until I see it, I'm not going to get my hopes up.
It's far more likely that her presence means somebody else is going to sacrifice their time on TV. And that is a shame. I mean, you look even at there's between tonight, how many matches were there tonight? 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There was 5 tonight. From what I understand, according to Wikipedia anyways, they're going to speedrun 8 matches on Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
So my math is there's 13 matches.
Over 4 hours, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's just 2 women's matches, right? Because it's Jade versus Diamante.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 13 matches, 2 of them are women's division matches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's generally the ratio of what we get with women's wrestling in AEW. I understand Saraya is, she's terrific. I have no idea what the status is. I'm sure maybe Fightful Sean will have an update on her medical status.
Whether she'll be able to wrestle or not.
Right. Yeah. She's indicated that, she's hopeful that she could at some point be cleared. Even her general presence as a manager, as a general manager, as an authority figure, whatever, would be welcome. Mm-hmm. But I just hope that it's not going to, hopefully it would expand the time allotted to the women's division as opposed to just eat up time from somebody else who's an active competitor in AEW. Yes. So yeah, I'll see what happens. It's hard to get excited over bringing in a high profile name in the women's division where there's so many who just aren't doing anything.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And we got new tag champions as well. The Acclaim defeated Swerving Our Glory. Kind of figured this would happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting those tag titles, they probably should have won it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, really fun bout. Crowd went nuts when the Acclaimed won. And really happy for them. For the past, 2+ years, they've been grinding out wins. They're the winningest tag team in AEW history.
Yeah.
And they finally have some championship titles to show for all their efforts. It's pretty awesome.
Dude, it does sort of, when people ask, hey, the answer is probably yes. Are there too many titles in AEW?
Make the argument, yeah.
I kind of appreciate, though, that the trios division and obviously now, I guess Death Triangle's the new trios champion,
mm-hmm.
but because of a couple different things you and I have been talking about for a little while that, okay, they need to reload their tag division. I kind of appreciate that certain teams are stepping up and they're in the position now where this felt like a big win. It was the match. It was the match of the night at All Out, by the way.
Yeah, it was a really good match tonight, too.
And tonight it was a killer match. He should have called an audible at the last show. And I wonder if that's something that as he progresses as a wrestling booker, Tony Khan is going to learn, hey, maybe calling an audible is something that is going to be an option for me going forward. I don't know if he's
mm-hmm.
done it. I've never heard of it in AEW yet. But let's see here. Okay, so what is this? Somebody, Silver PSN PR in our chat says, Tony just announced before the Rampage tapings, there's going to be a 25-man battle royal, and the winner will face Mox on a 2. So that's going to be the golden ticket thing.
Yeah.
The winner faces Mox, though, on Tuesday Dynamite October in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
So whoever wins
I didn't
that
know there was
gonna,
a Tuesday Dynamite. I guess now I know.
In October at some point, I guess.
All right, here I'll see where the Cincinnati Dynamite is.
So whoever wins that is going to lose tomorrow. We're not going to do any spoilers beyond that. Please no spoilers in the chat, by the way, for Rampage tapings because those are going down right now. But
so that will be on October 18th.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dynamite from Cincinnati.
Yeah. So that's cool. Whoever's going to win that is going to lose to Mox in Cincinnati. Maybe that's going to be, man, could you imagine if MJF cashes in?
That'd be pretty crazy.
In Cincinnati.
In Mox's hometown.
God. That'd be horrible. So, the heat. Oh, heat. Anyways, let's dive into it. I feel like we've covered a lot of the bigger beats, but let's go into the details here.
Let's do it. Show opened up with the Ring of Honor title bout. Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli. So Claudio, being the Ring of Honor champion before the match begins, observing the
Code of Honor.
Code of Honor. Gosh,
man, the tradition of the Code of Honor.
On that. So he offers his hand. Jericho shakes it, observes the Code of Honor, and then pow, whoop-ha, slaps Claudio. Claudio responds with an uppercut. Off we go with the match. Down towards the finish, Jericho grabs Floyd, the bat, takes a swing at Claudio with it. Claudio catches the bat, 2 hands, just grabs it.
Oh, it was such a Superman 2 moment.
It really was. Dun, 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 dun. So then Jericho backdrops Claudio. Claudio lands on his feet, and it kind of tumbles towards Aubrey Edwards, the ref, who's in the corner. And so while that's all going on, Jericho, as soon as Claudio turns around, low blows him, kicks him right in the front area. and then whoop-ha, Judas effect
Yeah.
to get the win. He goes up the ramp, celebrates with the Jericho Appreciation Society. The last member out was Garcia, looking pretty forlorn.
Oh, he looked like he looked like Dad has come home from getting those cigarettes years ago, and he ain't happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they kind of toast titles.
Yeah.
But then, Garcia was not happy. This match was really good. Jericho, like the last year, he's really stepped things up. Kerry Silken was sitting ringside.
Yeah.
At one point, Jericho used him as a shield and then shoves him to the ground. And later on, he hits a suplex off the apron to the floor.
Yeah.
On Claudio. It was a really solid bout, really well booked and really well paced match. So, I mean, say what you will about Jericho over the last 6 months to a year. He's been showing he still has it in the ring.
You know, dude, and all the reports we've heard about him stepping up backstage and being a locker room leader, without saying he's a locker room leader. Everybody looks up to him seemingly. I think that's terrific. And like I said earlier, I can really appreciate a guy who does his damnedest, will lose matches if he needs to, will do whatever it takes to get the other guy looking good. You got to think this is a guy who came up in 98 in WCW with Hulk Hogan there, and now he's the same age as Hogan was back there, probably maybe even a little bit older. And what's he doing? He's elevating people. This is going to make Garcia a star. And Garcia's already doing just amazing character work during this, and it's because of Jericho and Danielson up till this point, but Jericho's been the anchor of it. And like I said, in any other context, I'd be like, what the fuck was this tonight? But watching Garcia come, I have that look in my head right now. And oh my God, that poor son of a bitch.
It was almost George Michael. That gif of George Michael from Arrested Development with his head down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of moping in. Yeah.
Oh, that poor guy. He's like, you're the Ring of Honor champion? Can't get away from this guy.
Not just that. It'd be one thing if he had won the title with pro wrestling.
No, man.
But he didn't do that.
Sports entertainer. Busted Floyd out.
Yeah.
He tried to kick him
right
in
the front
balls,
area.
And he did kick him in the ball. That bit where Claudio caught him twice with a bat and he tried to kick him in the balls and Claudio grabbed it. Well, hey, third time's a charm, man.
I guess so. I guess
boy. All right, let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. You know, Larson?
What's that, Steve?
More and more athletes are speaking out about the importance of mental health these days, and we've seen several top stars take time away to tend to their own mental well-being. But pro athletes aren't the only ones who need to take care of their mental health, and therapy is the best way for anybody to stay in peak mental shape.
Yeah, I've been there before. There was a point in my life about 20 years ago where I was dealing with severe anxiety, and I realized I needed to go to therapy. But back then, finding the right therapist was tough, and it took me a while, but once I found a therapist I felt comfortable talking to, I started gaining the tools necessary to better deal with my anxiety. Now, BetterHelp is a great option because it makes that process of finding a therapist much more convenient and accessible. The whole process is done online, so you don't even have to leave your house. And all you got to do to get connected with the therapist is fill out a quick survey. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time.
So when you're ready to feel at the top of your mental health game, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
After that, we had a quick little Blackpool Combat Club video package hyping up the main event between Mox, Bryan Danielson. Then we had the tag title match, Swerving Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. Keithley took it upon himself to bust out some of his more high-flying moves in this match, some of which we haven't seen, I don't think, since he's been in AEW. He hit a Rana.
Yeah.
Looked for a moonsault off the second rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was in this match was going the extra mile to try to outdo the all-out match.
Yeah.
It felt like.
Yeah. The thing about the all-out match was that, you know, you can't replicate something like that because the all-out match, they had no idea that crowd was going to respond the way they did, and that's what carried it. And that's why I say, like, when Tony Khan is backstage, if you can get a grasp on what that energy is, then it might not be a terrible idea to be like, oh man, do this now. But I can understand he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean the crowd was super into this match and they were super excited when the Acclaimed won. But there's something to be said for the Acclaimed have gotten themselves over organically.
They have, yeah, as true AEW homegrown talents. Yeah,
exactly, because they're great.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
and you know, like some of the creative when they were kind of aligned with the Gun Club, and then obviously not, was kind of head scratching. But in the end, I guess it worked because they're super over.
Yeah, right.
The chemistry between them, Billy Gunn, is really good. The chemistry between the two of them is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
They're both really good wrestlers. It's awesome, and they've advanced the story of Swerving Our Glory from the very beginning of this tag team. What did Keith Lee say? As long as we're winning, it's fine.
It ain't fine anymore.
It's not fine anymore. And after Swerve blasts Keith Lee in the head with a boombox,
it's definitely
not gonna be fine anymore.
Yeah, if they had kept those titles somehow, it might have been fine still. But yeah,
it's not gonna be fine anymore.
All bets are off now. And Keith Lee looks even more. You know, he's letting the gray show a little bit, and I love that because you know that's intentional.
Yeah.
And he looked. What was Punk's line? I'm old. I'm hurt.
I'm tired,
and I'm working with this fucking child over here.
So there's a couple points where, like early on, the Bowens and Caster are about to do the scissor, and Swerve gets in the ring and drop kicks him because he doesn't want to see it. And Keith Lee's like, "What are you doing that for, man?
Yeah,
just let them do their thing. It's cool."
Yeah.
And at the finish, so Swerve takes out Acclaimed with like a springboard. I don't know. He did like
something
a 450
cool.
and like basically landed on them.
Yeah,
like feet first on both Caster and Bowens. So Billy Gunn gets in Swerve's face. And so they're talking back and forth, talking crap. And then Lee goes over to Swerve. Is like, hey, calm down, man. Mm-hmm. And so the ref is getting distracted by all that. So Bowens goes on the floor, forearms Swerve, and the ref's still not paying attention. So Billy hits Swerve with the Famouser on the floor, puts him back in the ring. Bowens hits an Uranagi. Caster follows with a bike drop to get the win. Mm-hmm. But like the whole dynamic of Swerve just being like irritated with the Acclaimed, whereas Keith Lee's like, just let them do their thing.
Yeah, right. Don't let them get in your head. But yeah, it's clear they're under Swerve. He can't stand these dudes.
No.
And that goes back to him like interrupting their rap. He's like, I'm so over these guys, which I kind of appreciate because, you know, we've all known that. I don't know how much they've really dived into it the way they did in NXT. His basic gimmick was, hey, I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
But like,
they've mentioned it.
They've mentioned it. Yeah. But it's not like they've like had, maybe they even had vignettes of him in the studio. I don't know. We all know what Swerve's about. And I like the idea that he's like, God, these guys are just clowns, you know, and this is stuff I take seriously. Mm-hmm. And he's just over it. And Keith Lee's like, dude, you can't let them get to you like that.
Yep. Yeah. So now Swerving Our Glory is going to completely and totally fall apart.
Oh, it's going to be great. That feud is going to be amazing.
It is going to be great. It's going to happen probably as soon as next week's Dynamite. If not a Rampage on Friday. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's going to be an awesome feud.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
After that, we had an FTR interview. This was kind of interesting. So Cash is like, everybody in the tag match just now, it killed it. You know, hats off to Caster and Bowens. Congratulations. But we've been number one contenders. I think he said since April.
Yeah, right.
And we want our match now, so we're cashing in. And then Ass Boys step in, and they start talking crap to FTR. And Dax tries to get a word in, and they just cut him off and tell him to pipe down. And pretty much say, we're the better FTR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which, no. I'm telling you, though, Ass Boys need to go to New Japan. They'd be hilarious there. I feel like that vibe that they give off would be hilarious in those press conferences. Because they have kind of like when Juice is like a bad guy. They have that kind of vibe to them, you know?
That kind of energy, yeah.
Yeah, that energy, exactly, yeah. So anyways, FTR continue to linger on now in a feud with the Ass Boys. After that, we had a Wheeler Yuta interview with Tony Schiavone. So we thought. He's about to talk about the main event, how he feels about his two Blackpool Combat Club dudes going at it. Instead, we get MJF interrupting. Crowd goes nuts for him. Says, the devil has arrived, and since we all worship the ground that I walk on, that makes all of you my devil worshippers. He tells Yuta, he says, I know you look confused right now, Yuta. It's because you've never received a reaction like that, and guess what? You never will. And it's not just because you're mid. He says, because I'm a god to these people. They'd drink my spit if they could. There's not a man here who wouldn't let me sleep with their wives because I'm a generational talent. But I wouldn't because they're not good enough for me. Yuta tells MJF, he says, calm down. He's, there's some truth to what you said. You are a generational talent, but you're also the king of low-hanging fruit. You're a scumbag. He says, but hey, congratulations on getting engaged. He says, I've heard about your fiance. She's smart, maybe too smart, because she's probably already figured out what we already know, that you're a spineless piece of garbage, and maybe, just maybe, she'll walk out on you like you walked out on all of us. And then MJF says, I came out here to wish the Blackpool. Is this where he called them cucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Blackpool Cuckold Club. The best of luck. He says, you guys are, because we're not fighting for the world title tonight. They're fighting to lose the title to me. He says, but it's fine. You can still go to the Blackpool Combat Club for advice. You can go to Regal. He says you can go to Danielson, but his head's been scrambled. You can go to Mox, but nobody listens to him. Or you can go up to Regal, who can teach you how to pop pills. And then Yuta slaps the shit out of him. MJF headbutts him, shoves Tony to the ground. He turns around, Wheeler takes him down, and then Morrissey comes out, grabs Yuta, chokes him out. MJF blasts Yuta with the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Yep.
End scene.
And after that, we get a Jade Cargill interview. She says that she's still that bitch. She says, as for the main title, I'm going to do it on my time. And then Diamante steps in, and she reveals that she's bringing Trina with her.
Yeah.
And Trina's there.
Yeah.
She steps into the frame.
We're going to get Trina versus Jade, perhaps? Probably not.
Maybe.
Anyways, after that, we had Orange Cassidy versus Pac for the All-Atlantic title. Woo, boy. This was a good match, man. And I'm just glad that Pac didn't have to job to Orange Cassidy. I love Pac, man. He's a bastard.
I know. Pac is great.
Yeah,
he was wrecking Orange.
Oh, my God.
Wrecking him.
Yeah,
and Orange gives him...
And then
gives him the thumbs up.
And then
he wrecks him even more.
He wrecks him even more. But then when Orange Cassidy gets his shit in, drops him with a couple of DDTs that Pac absolutely sells. He spikes himself. And then spikes backwards. Like he bends his body backwards. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. At one point, Pac goes up top looking for a black arrow. And as soon as he gets to the top rope, Orange just lifts his feet up. And he's like, come on, go for it. Come on. So towards the finish, Pac is looking for blocks a DDT. Sorry. Orange is looking for a DDT. Pac blocks it. Pac's looking to lock on the brutalizer. Instead, Orange reverses that into a roll-up, gets a 2. Orange hits an orange punch. Covers Pac. Pac grabs the bottom rope. So Pac goes down to the timekeeper's area. And while he's there, he really, clandestinely grabs the hammer for the ring bell. Well, Orange comes over and grabs him around the waist. And so his head is kind of tucked in underneath Pac's arm. And so the ref can't see it, ref's in the ring. So Pac just blasts Orange right in the head with that ring bell hammer.
Yeah.
Puts him back on the ring and covers him for the win.
That is correct. After that, we had Fatal 4-Way. Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, Athena, and champion Toni Storm defending her AEW World title. I like this match. I liked it better than the Fatal 4-Way that went down at All Out. And the only reason I'm saying that is because it's just that he did one Fatal 4-Way and then Tony Khan books another Fatal 4-Way. So we'll have 2 Fatal 4-Ways to choose from. But no, I thought this was solid. I thought that Athena was fucking killer in this because she's amazing at everything.
She's fantastic.
There was that spot where she had both Britt and Serena Deeb, I think. Yeah. Yep. All loaded up together, and she like does a Samoa drop back by. I don't know what the fuck it was.
It was like a fall away slam.
There you go.
Yeah, and she landed right on Britt's face.
And so once again, Britt Baker broke her nose.
Seemingly.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. This is a really good match. The ending saw Britt stomping Athena. Again, Athena sells that stomp better than fucking anybody.
Yeah.
And then Britt puts the glove on. No, I'm sorry. Wait a second. No, I'm sorry. Wait, back up here. Back up. Sorry.
So the finish saw Tony hit Athena with a tornado DDT, and right after that, Britt rolls up Tony.
Yeah.
And then Tony kicks out, rolls up, like reverses the roll up. on Britt to get the win.
Yeah, that's right. So afterwards, Britt blasts Tony from behind, wipes a bunch of her blood on her. Jamie Hayter runs to the ring, peels Britt off Tony, looks at Britt. You think, oh, they're going to go at it? No. They both lay into Tony Storm. Deeb attacks Athena. Britt then stomps Athena. Britt puts the glove on, and then Saraya comes out. She walks to the ring. Britt and her crew leave the ring, and then Paige tells Britt to kiss her ass, and everybody's reveling in the arrival of Saraya.
It's her house.
Yeah.
AEW is her house. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see if we get any news tomorrow about whether she's been cleared to wrestle. If not, what kind of role she's going to have. Is it going to be some sort of GM, commissioner, on-screen authority figure type deal? Who knows?
Yep.
But be interested to see.
Yeah.
After that, we had a Darby Allin short film. So he's in New York City, and he's carrying around, or in some cases, dragging behind him a body bag.
With clearly a body in it.
With somebody in it. Yeah. And so he's in the subway. He's walking through the streets. He gets in the cab, puts the body bag in there with them, and just tells the cab driver, I'm heading to a funeral. Arthur Ashe.
Yeah. So, of course, they have a match. It's the House of Black, Brody and
Buddy.
Buddy, thank you, yeah.
Against Darby and Sting.
Darby and Sting. So who's in the body bag? And we don't want spoilers in chat, by the way. That's not.
Yeah,
cool.
Don't tell us.
Somebody's already been banned for posting spoilers.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, I have no idea what it's going to be. Yeah, then we had our main event. What if it's another Darby?
Whoa, that'd be weird.
It's like a clone. It's like Black Mirror. You made a clone in a bathtub.
He put something in a bathtub.
What was it?
You know, when you get those little things at the store and it says just put in water and they grow. Yeah. Watch it grow.
Yeah. But it's a Darby.
Start out like action figure size. Throw
like,
in the bathtub.
It's like a gooey naked Darby.
Yeah.
Then we had our main event: Jonathan Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. MJF erased all idea that he was going to be cashing in because he was in his full suit, clutching. He was using the poker chip as a cuddle pillow, and he was hanging out up in one of the boxes up there. Just him by himself. No popcorn.
Yeah. No firm. Just him.
They're just hired hands. They're not going to be hanging out with him.
I wonder what Sean Spears is doing. He and MJF where it seemed like really tight.
I thought either he was injured or just taking time away because of baby's about to happen. But I thought somebody said he was injured. I don't know.
Oh, that could be.
Maybe he's just doing full-time Twitch streaming, man. With the sweets.
Maybe. I don't know.
And then doing the flat back bump.
That's true. He does a wrestling school with Breeze. Yeah.
Breeze.
This match was a lot of fun. Physical, as you would expect. Down towards the finish, Brian. So Mox is working Danielson's leg. Early on, and at one point Danielson kicks Mox in the head, and then he sells. Oh, my foot! I was wondering how many Mox matches they're going to make reference to. Punk not like re-injuring, but not re-injuring his foot in their first match. Yeah. Well, no, I like the idea that Mox just has he's got like a super hard head. Yeah. He should start utilizing. But with Punk, it was his plant foot that hurt. With Danielson, it was I want to revisit that foot stuff anymore. Anyway, so plant foot is the kick foot, is the foot that he jumped into the crowd with. Yeah, don't worry about it. So at one point, Danielson's hitting some more kicks. Mox blocks it, the kick, and then stomps on Danielson's leg. Hits a stomp, as in Seth Rollins' finisher. Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool shout out. Follows up with a Death Rider. Danielson kicks out, so they're trading some punches. Danielson hits some Danielson stomps, not Seth Rollins' finisher. Locks on a triangle, transitions to a label lock. Mox gets the ropes. So then Mox rolls onto the apron, I believe. Mox hits a knee drop. Sorry, Danielson hits a knee drop onto Mox's arm. So they're out in the ramp. Mox just hits a paradigm shift on Danielson right on the ramp, and Danielson just rolls down the ramp back into the ring. Yeah. And so Mox is crawling to get back in the ring as fast as he can to cover him. Danielson still kicks out. So the Mox locks on a sleeper. Danielson's trying to break it. He can't. He just falls like face first. And Mox ain't letting go.
Right.
Danielson passes out. Mox wins. He is 3-time AEW champion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I did post up a question thread here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. On Tuesday, yesterday, we did our bonus episode of Overrun, where we did some tier ranking. The tier ranking aspect of it, I'm going to put up on Friendo Club TV. But we did a lot of other stuff. We did a Numbers Don't Lie on Charlotte Flair, and we answered a bunch of y'all's questions every single week. We do Overrun. It's our bonus thing, and then we've got a bunch of other stuff. Lord Ziffer said, then we also have our recap questions thread to go up on the Patreon. Lord Ziffer says, you guys see the Acclaimed as being somewhat transitional champs with FTR winning soon, or will the Acclaimed get a more deserved longer reign? FTR is in a really weird spot right now because they have three. Well, okay, one of them is AEW owned Ring of Honor, so they could do what they want with that. But I'm not sure, like AAA, I don't know if they'd mind. New Japan probably would mind to have their tag champions pinned by somebody else. So I don't know what they do with all that because I don't want the Acclaim to be transitional. They shouldn't be. They're superior. They have replaced FTR as the most over tag team in AEW.
Yeah. Hope there was a spot during the tag title match where Bowens, I don't know if he was pushed off the top by Swerve or came up short on the mic drop, and he was selling his knee. So hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully that was nothing. In the event that he did hurt himself, and if it's serious, and they would have to vacate the titles, which would be an absolute bummer. Then just put him on FTR when the Acclaim come back, have him beat FTR for the titles.
Well, I don't. I mean, there was no indication that it was actually hurt. I mean,
I know.
Swerve was right there. It's kind of clear that he pushed him, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how.
It'd been nice if the camera work was actually better, so we could have seen it.
Instead,
we're like, "What the hell happened there?"
No, I totally agree. But yeah, I still don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Like FTR, like man, yeah, they've been the number one contenders for a long time since they're.
I think they said since April.
I think it's been since April. They got to have that match.
You think so?
They got to figure it out. Because they're not doing anything with Ring of Honor, seemingly. So, I don't know what you do.
I don't know either. I don't know.
It's a predicament.
Luis Ariza says, who had some of the most underrated themes in wrestling? Luis says, I've listened to Team Angle and the Boogeymans, and they're both bangers.
How much of a fucking nerd I am, dude. I really wanted to know today. While I was watching NXT. I went on a side mission to find out the exact date that Triple H started using My Time.
What did you find out? Was it the Raw after WrestleMania 15?
It was close to. It was very close to that. It wasn't. He had a weird transitional theme that was really generic. It was very short-lived, very generic. And then it was like May. It was
about a month later then.
It was the May 11th taping of Raw, and I think it aired like on the 17th or 8th, something like that. And it was the first time he wore the trunks, and he got the My Time theme without the lyrics. That came later on, I think, in June.
Oh, interesting.
But he had just the instrumental version of My Time.
What a great song.
And his Tron used a bunch of footage seemingly from his Hunter Hearst Helmsley days because his hair was not like all metalled out. It was like properly.
Yeah.
And then there was like a shot, like a menacing shot of China, which clearly they just filmed for that Tron because she was just in a hallway and it was like the most unimpressive shot. It was like she was waiting for something. She was waiting to talk to McMahon or something. I don't know. Anyways, back to the question. What's the most underrated theme song in wrestling, Larson?
Wow, there's a lot. I mean, you can pop on that CD from the Attitude Era with Triple H's My Time, with the Brood theme.
So this theme song looms large in our lore, but perhaps to the greater wrestling world, maybe not. Dan Severn.
Yeah.
Dan Severn's theme was fucking a banger.
There's a lot of really good themes in the Attitude Era.
Oh, dude, it was like 90% fucking bangers, and then
It
like
really was.
not a whole
Jim
lot
Johnston
of misses.
was on a roll.
Oh, he killed it. Steve Blackman's was a banger.
Yeah.
Val Venus did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Sound like pornography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Matushek says, after the Arthur Ashe shows, where do you think AEW should go next in terms of stadium shows that are not near Daly's place? So not the Jaguars football stadium.
San Jose.
May I suggest Hughes Stadium on the campus of Sacramento City College?
Even better. I love that you know the name of the Sacramento City stadium.
Oh, Hughes Stadium? I've been there before.
Yeah. For what?
Back when
I'm not doubting you. I'm legitimately curious.
One of the, was it the World League? Was it the Sacramento Surge had a game there?
Okay, all right.
I think that's what it was before they built the thing at Sac State.
That's cool.
I think they played at Hughes Stadium.
Oh. Let's see here. Alex Foster. Why does everybody think the Bloodline is using Sammy? Are you kidding me?
They're using Sammy.
They're totally using Sammy. Anybody who has any concept of the human condition at all can see they're using the hell out of Sammy.
Oh, yeah.
The first indication that he's not useful. Oh.
Boot.
Done.
He's getting it.
Done.
Booted.
Done.
Patrick Sparks, I think you know the answer to this one, Steve. Patrick Sparks says, I think the answer is Mox, but if not, who has the most effective back rake?
Give me LP, baby.
That is the correct answer.
It's L freaking P, absolutely.
Loads you might be mesmerized by all the flips and stuff he does before he does it.
Well,
don't let that take away from the effectiveness
behind it.
I agreed.
Yeah.
Momentum.
You build
inertia,
up the kinetic energy.
Kinetic energy. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Not potential, kinetic.
But kinetic, exactly. Yeah. Practical.
It's potential while he's doing all the flips and stuff, and then once he starts bringing those fingers down the back,
it's the most kinetic shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, super kinetic energy.
Forget the fucking superconductor. Give me LP's back rake. The super collider, whatever the fuck it's called.
Large Hadron Collider is what you're talking about.
Didn't somebody just recreate a sun somewhere on this planet?
Ooh, that's horrifying.
Was it like Korea? Who did that? Somebody fucking did that shit. They recreated something even hotter than the fucking sun. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
They need to stop doing that on this planet, because someday somebody's going to make that and it's just going to turn into a second sun, and guess what's going to happen to the Earth?
There's not going to be an Earth anymore. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Eviscerate. It's going to be like LP's back rake. It's 10 times hotter.
Wow.
10 times hotter than the sun.
Wow.
So it was like slightly less hot than one of those old school McDonald's apple pies.
Yes, the inside, yes.
God damn it, those things
were super hot, I know.
Those things were like magma.
They were so good.
God damn it. Let's see here. Mayor Planet Houston, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you they'll book Saraya properly?
At first, within the first 3 months, I'll say 7.
Extrapolate to 6 months.
It's not high.
4.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And everybody else will be kicked down a notch because of it. Yeah.
Except for Britt Baker.
Yeah. Except for Britt Baker. Exactly. All right, this is getting out of control, everybody. We're talking about suns and apple pies. We got to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning
apple pie
in.
Sounds good.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I might go over there real quick, get one of those.
When I say
one, I mean 2.
Yeah, I know. Because that's the deal.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.